Hello, everyone. Today we have something different on the circuit. We have a family. It's the first that I've tried to do, and I want you guys to know that this is a family that I think I'm a part of, and we'll hear from them what they think about that. It's a family that I've been hanging there. It's a lot. I have it on the Brotherhood as the picture, as depicting the Canadian team, and anything successful comes from a family setting and from brotherhood and tightness. And I've gained most of what I got in the sporting field from coming up through this yard. We call it the Seabrews yard, you know. And first, I want to introduce the elder or the eldest, and allow him to introduce himself and find out how he came by telling me that he knew how I get my alias name. So, but first, so as the eldest, I'll ask you to introduce yourself and tell the people a little about you. We know you make a certain amount of progress in terms of the football, but we'll keep it from your fundamentals, maybe your schooling and stuff, and we'll go around to everybody else. And then we'll come back to you because you're the head, you're the accomplished footballer. So as the oldest of the crew, could you introduce yourself, please?
Sebro, the eldest of the family. 5 boys and 1 girl, but we don't say that because we had 4 cousins that grew up with us that we call brothers. Patrick, Tintu, Gerald, and Carlton. So it's a lot of boys and 1 girl. I could call midget too, midget. plus others. Nice family, nice home, open home, like we always say, it's an open home because if you come by us, sometimes you come for 1 day and you stay 10 years. You know, it was always nice family, nice everything. What else can I say?
We're missing a brother. He had some logistical problems and some technical problems, which is Keith Hecky Sebro. From Keith, being the person pitching with, flying kite with, pelting mango with, and everything else, lo and behold, there was a person, we had the brothers still here and they were here with us, but a certain person kind of came into my life and we ended up being really good friends, best friends. And that person, I'll ask him to introduce himself, coming in from wherever he came from, and drop on the block, came in by Sebro, and ladies and gentlemen, everything that land by Sebro is Sebro, because Sebro was that type of home, that very accommodating. So, so Mr. Bridgewood, I'll ask you to introduce yourself and let the people know you're coming into Mova and how that worked for you.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Mitch. I am I'm Mohammed Amin now, but I was Patrick Nicholas before. When I come to Mova from Samoa, I was Patrick Nicholas, and that was a good thing for me. I came down there at the age of I was like 17, something like that, when I came to Mova. And I did like football and cricket. But I came to the right place when I came to Mova because Cipriani and Kaimer Street, them fellas was playing good football. And I could apply a little bit, but I really meet good players. And I learned the game much better. Thanks to you guys. I had a tough upbringing. And at the age of 20, I used to
I still live in Morvant already. At the age of 2.5, my mother had a little problem and she dropped me off with my aunt. I was like, and at the age of 2.5, some Grenadians take me in Sao. They took me for a weekend. And to make it brief, I spent like 10 years, like 10 years with them for that weekend. I spent like 10 years with them. And the reason why it was only 10 years I spent with them, I was behaving so bad as a young fella, lost. And my mother's little sour in Bridge Road. And she took me to Bridge Road. Unfortunately, I lived with my mother for 1 year and she died. She passed away. And after my mother died, my aunt Daphney, Sebro, saying, boy, come over. And I said, nah, man, I stay in a ground with it. And I hung in Sao, it was tough. I was introduced to drinking and smoking, and anyway, when it gets so tough, that's how I came to Nova. I'm grateful to my aunt and my Uncle Sebro. I'm grateful. And one of the reasons why it was why it was tough for me as a young when I was in Korea Road with those older people, is it was so strict, and I know there wasn't appearance. But when I came to Morvant by Daphney, it was like free, everybody, could come and go, and I had another freedom. And then I meet up with you guys, meet up with my cousin Earl, that boy was training hard, man. He used to tell me, man, I'm too lazy, and he used to get at me, and my cousin Pete. Well, actually, we wasn't cousins, we was brothers. We wasn't cousins, we was brothers. And we had, and I learned the game, and Midget was my best friend. Parker was a good friend also. Stone Good. And Midget was the man in the music business, and I was like a follower, but it was the same group.
What's the name of the group?
Morvant. And to make a long story short, I'm grateful to my aunt and my Uncle Sebro.
All right. So Patrick came into the whole fold, and as he said, Patrick intervention into the Sebro's yard and my life was just as he said. We started with ball and it evolved to entertainment and everything else that we won't get into a little later on. So with Patrick being there and stuff, as I say, Keith is missing. So this little analogy is to introduce this other guy who was there all along in the shadows. And for some reason, we came closer and closer and began to click. And they call him Chalky. Everybody worldwide who know me know he's considered to be my right hand and my left hand man. So I would ask you to introduce yourself and say how this whole Sebro thing, how you evolve into the Sebro thing. I mean, you're down in the mix. You're not at the top, you're not at the bottom. So how you handle the mix?
First, I gotta give thanks to God for us being here. All of us alive to talk and laugh and enjoy this moment. As Val Chalky Sebro, the spice of the Sebro. in Cipriani Street. In Kajuka Street, there's Black Pearl. Everybody know that. Well, who know me as far as ball is concerned, know what ability I had and what I did, which was all fun for me. It was never nothing more than fun. Me and Midge go back, way back. Good times, real good times. And he's a man that really pulled me out into this ball thing. I used to play ball, but I really didn't care to come out. It means the man used to come talk, you want to you, boy, let me go down and play now, boy, you want to you. So I had to give him a lot of credit for giving me the opportunity to come out and play. But my big brother, Errol, was the guiding, the leading figure as far as soccer is concerned, especially up on the block. Because, you know, he's one of the first guys that went in town. He's one of the first guys that, you know, so he give us a lot of inspiration to do what we did. A lot of inspiration. And then Mover was a mecca of soccer, boy. You can't take that. Dodgers, Blackpool. So we had a good lead to follow. So now you know that I am the spice of the Sebro, the Black Pearl. So you meet me, and I enjoy being here, and I would be involved in this conversation. I love this.
All right. So now, Mr. Lester Sebro, you're kind of eating or you're cracking some things there and you're interrupting.
Taking over the screen.
You're taking over the screen. All right. So, you know, we covered that already, and it looked like it's eating, so it's not like you're smiling to the public. So, from Val, Salim, Choki, Sebro,
No.
Yeah.
From Val, Salim, Sebro, we would be going to a guy. It seemed like he introduced himself informally before I introduced him formally. So seeing that you're already on the screen and stuff, maybe you should introduce yourself and let the people know. You're running down in the lower section with the Sebros. So introduce yourself and tell us now when we're going down to you guys. I want to know, coming in to the Sebro, you know, as a brother, family members to others, you know, having a lot of people. I'm very interested in finding out the younger ones, what they really think and how they felt, you know, because it's easy for us at the upper end, right? So could you introduce yourself and let us know, you know, how you come onto the scene in terms of what you felt, you know, having your brothers before you, you know, Errol, ball, Patrick came down, ball, Val, Bill and Cobb, ball, whatever you want, all over the place. So introduce yourself and tell us how you got into this mix, this Sebro mix, and how you feel about it.
Well, the Sebro.
All right.
Ian Boo Sebro as better known. The second to last of the Sebros. Boy, second to last. I could have only look on at the time at these elders playing football, you know, but I used to just go to games, even some of the games in Tagarigo and all. I went to some of them, you know, Eddie Hart and these places, dragging behind. But it was good, it was good. And at least I play a little ball myself, but not as the elders, but I had a little ball in me. I know Cipriani United, one of the best teams it ever had. That's it for me.
We come into one, the youngest, but he's very manly. And he's manly. I like that quality. I never really tell him that before, right? I know sometimes, you know, he just get a little hard time, you know, but just want him to know that the little manly part of him, I talk to his brothers about. I like how when he wants to do something, So, sir, with that type of introduction, I want you to introduce yourself and let the people know where in the pecking order that you come in.
Well, my name is Lester Sebro, the last of the Mohicans. There's none better than me. And the backbone of me was my mother and father. They were the backbones of the Sebro. Without them, we would have never been nothing because she was a dedicated woman, cook a lot. She would feed everybody. She was a marvelous. And from that was the foundation of it. And coming out of that parenthood, I was a man from about 6, 7 years. The things I do, the things that my big brother never do, I did. So I could say I was the big one, but was always only managed, plain man. But it was good coming out of that foundation and watching my brothers and them. I know I couldn't be a football star. So I said I wanted to be my own star. I wanted to be a rock star. So I was my own star in my own way, doing what I wanted to do, watching cat, gambling on the block, watching the bigger guys playing soccer, talking shit on the sideline, having the whole crowd, that was my dramatic, it just making the crowd laugh, talk shit, going to the theater, going to Rex Theater behind my big brother and them. It's an X-rated movie, but I couldn't get in, but I know how to get in. So that was my growing up behind my big brothers. Coming, that paved the way, but I was bringing up the rear as the little ass brother, but having a ball in my life among my brothers. And the Sebro Foundation was really good due to our parents, father talking, mother, cooking. But the father was the man who you had to look up to because he had that kind of, motivation that he don't talk much, but keep it in line, So, that was my growing up under my brothers, and foundation was my parents. It wasn't for Sidney and Daphney, I don't know what would happen.
I second that. I endorse that. So back to you now, Rolly.
Yeah.
Even off with Lester hit a nice point there, and that's really the gist of what we really want to talk about. See what Lester just hit on there? When I look at Climate and Cipriani Street, we could kind of do this together. I look at the family setting. If you come up Cipriani Street, you look at, I'm talking about families sizable that had impact. You look at PG, you look at Tate,
Williamson.
you look at Williamson, you look at Sebro's. You're talking numbers here now. And when you put these families together, you realize that it meant, and we did call Tate, right?
Hey, you didn't call Tillet.
Yeah.
Tillet. Well, Tillet, as they came in after, you have to realize with these families we could have blended within that. Tillet come, and you guys, if you guys recall, that was the big families kind of cater.
Picky and them too.
The Bennett, but Bennett wasn't really a big family. They were just kind of well off where people gravitate to them because the TV was a magnet that I was going to go on and talk about. We have been able to track down another Sebro. He was missing from the initial interview, and I'll have to ask him to introduce himself and find out what his whole technical problem was. And so can you introduce yourself and give how you fit into the Sebro family, and how was that for you?
Okay, my name is Cipriani Sebro. I'm the second of 6 kids, and born, grew up in Morvant Street. And I just full praise to some of the guys I grew up with and I've been around with. I started my football career, Morvant East, then to Tranquil, and then to Coach. And I appreciate this time to speak to most of my football friends, my family, and people that I grew up with. And I'm proud to be part of a football family eldest brother is Aaron, like myself, then we got Paul, we got Deborah, one Jill, Ian, and Lester.
So how was it for you? How was it for you with all the flow through of, you had, as we said, you had a lot of people flowing through the 21 Kime Street. How did you fit in? And it didn't seem, you guys didn't seem to budge a bit. How was that for you?
Oh, I'm proud to be part of it. Kime Street, especially Morvant, Kime and Cipriani Street, because we had some great, footballers that come out from that era, and I'm just be proud to be part of it. You get the Muggles, Victor, Leroy, Victor, and always who we call midget. But it was a good era, man. I have no regret.
So, and what about all your relatives, from Toko and everything else that passed through? How was that for you?
Oh, my father from Toko originally, and I have family in Toko, our family in Caranach, and it was good, man. I have no regrets, because I have Patrick, Tinto, I have some good cousins. We all play ball together. We was in a little block in the circle of Hamilton, Cipriani Street. We had the Muggles, we had the Hunts, we had the Williamson, we had Pussy Packers, Pete Bruce. We had some good guys in that block, and everybody grew up to be proud and to be good gentlemen. Nice football.
Yeah, we have a gentleman who is here. He was struggling to make the group, the Sebro group last night.
Good afternoon. My name is Gerald Nicholas. I was brought up by the Sebros because my mother died when I was age 11. And my aunt, Daphney, took me to live with her and Uncle Sidney then. And it's the best thing that ever happened to me in my life then, you know what I mean? Because they showed me love then. I really didn't miss my mother then, you know what I mean? It was never unfair to me, unjust to me. It was loving. I couldn't ask for more.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jay, now are you aware of the amount of different people that came into the Sebro atmosphere? I'm sure when you were there, if you came at 11, you must have a lot of family members coming in and out. How was that for you? Apparently, when we get to where you are now and what it did for you, it looked like it didn't do much, but I want to hear it from you. How was the whole revolving door, as Chucky called it?
Because they showed me love then, I mean? It was never unfair to me, unjust to me. It was loving. I couldn't ask for more. It was love, it was love, it was love in the house then, I mean? Because you're there and nobody treat you, watch you, treat you bad. Like, at the moment now, if I do Juicen, Val, Keith, Errol, anybody, it's not like, I can't say cousin then. They watch me bad. I have to say brother then. You understand? And that's how it is all the time, all the time. And you grew up, we sleep on a bed, about 8 of us on a bed, a 4x6 bed across, and we grew up close. It's like, there's my brothers and sister then, you know what I mean? I can't ask, and my mother and father then. I couldn't ask for more then. It's like, you could say Sebro, you know what I mean? Because that's my mother and father, you know what I mean?
I second that. I second that. I endorse.
My name is Larry Bruce. How I managed to be a part of the Sebros because I was living in Success Village, Laventille, with my grandmother that they are Jehovah's Witnesses. And once you're not a witness, it is difficult to, they have rules and regulation and at the church and all that kind of thing. So I went over by Auntie Daphney and I visit and never left. I stayed there and I become a son of Auntie Daphney. And once I was there, it was 14 of us in a shack at the back of the original house. Everybody was there, lived happily till I came to the United States in 1977. And Auntie Daphney was, I got married, she was my mother giver. Uncle Sidney, and I mean, he was a loving guy, and I mean, he accepted me as part of the family. And ever since, Val and Deborah and Keith and Hecky and Errol, I consider them as my brother. We also had Tinto, we had Henry, other people. We had people from Beverly, from Toko came in. Ganga was there. Once I was there. The house in the front was, still the original house, but it had a shack in the back. And the shack in the back was 14 of us. I mean, let's imagine 14 people living in a shack on 21 Climate Street. And everybody was like loving, we didn't have no fight. We didn't have no thing. Everybody was peaceful. Auntie Daphney was there. Uncle Sidney was there. That's how I managed to run into Midget. That was a block. We always, Midget and the whole crew used to come about. We playing little cards and stuff. That's where our cats started. Power Cats was actually Midget and Val. Patrick was a roadie guy for Power Cats. And Midget for the time they gave me this opportunity to express myself as part of the Sebro family. And all the best to you and your endeavors. And we will be in contact as much as possible. Stay blessed.
Now, this is an important part I want to do. Lester touch on it in his first rounds. And we want to at least dedicate that to Sidney, Mr. Sebro, as I know him, and Miss Sebs, as I used to call her. Sebro House and yard and place was a revolving. It was a place where people around the district used to put a flag up if you go there or whatever. And a lot of people pass through, right? And for you guys being there, I know everybody in life have challenges and stuff, but do you guys realize how sacred and how special, from my point of view, sometimes when you have it, you didn't really realize. Let's not touch on it though, which was nice to hear him say. You guys realize, I sure it's about 400 people pass through the 21 Climate Street. You guys realize, and I would start with, I'd start with the younger, going up to the I know it really have up your hand, but Boo, I'll go to you first, then I'll go to Lester, and then I'll go with Rolly, because it's only for you guys here. So Boo, is there any appreciation for, the residents, and regardless of how many people pass through, how you feel? Because when I was coming back, you were still there and towing the line there.
Midget, up to the time when I was there, and my wife was there, my wife had the same temperament of my mother, and people used to come and stay by us. Through me and my wife also, through my wife and I also. Or like Baji, all of them used to come and had people come in and stay when we were there. People from Toko, when Mommy passed and things, people used to come and stay while we were there. So we had that same kind of temperament. Up to here, people just come and stay whenever they want to come and stay. We had that same, we had an open house by us with family. My mother never refused nobody coming to stay by us. Never refused anyone. My mother and my father, we was right at the side there. Somebody come in, so and so come in, and I said, anybody could have come and stay by us, anybody. Family.
So Lester, I mean, as the lads, that there's make room for the lad.
After God, the greatest gift was Daphney, Sebro. My mother used to cook, and I used to be panicking because everybody in the yard must get food.
She feed everybody. I said, Mommy, what about daddy food? She said, don't worry about your father. I will cook again before you come home. I said, but Mommy, close to me. 5 o'clock, you coming home? Yes, you know, don't worry, man. I'm going to cook again. And that was the love she had. She said, that was the joy to cook and give it, feed people. That was the greatest, one of the greatest love I ever seen in the world. Next day, people coming home in my mother's house. And they saying, Mommy, I reach home from school. Mommy, who's that one? That your cousin. Where you from? Grenada. Where that one from? St. Vincent. I said, wait. I ain't never know we had family all over the world, so. She said, yeah, that your family. I said, well, give daddy that. Tell Sidney that, and every year we'll go up later. And she would feel him, and daddy will come home and she say, Daddy will ask, who is this one now? That's my family from Grenada, yes, Sidney. All right, Daphney. Somebody can take it in again. And he was good with it. But there was a love growing up in the house. We have another brother, you know, Ronnie. Ronnie born 21 Kevin Street over, you know. Ronnie Thomas. Ronnie Thomas. He born 21 Kevin Street over behind me. He born about 2 years. I think about 2 years after me. Grew up, you know what I mean? And that was the next joy. Lyman and playing with Ronnie under me. Another great joy again. So, you know, it was a pleasure growing up in Over. Pleasure growing up with my brothers. I'm glad when Errol gone because glad to get rid of him because he was borrowing my money at such pace. I couldn't handle Lee and Patrick. When Errol want money, he coming to me. When Patrick want to gamble, he coming to me. So I was glad to get rid of them when they leave. You know?
Just got to get rid of Val too?
Nah. Val wasn't bad, but he couldn't cook. He couldn't cook them days, but he get better when he leave. Because when Mommy and them leave, he was the cook, but he get better when he leave, you know? When he come to America, he started using MSG, he started taste a little better.
Yeah, well, you really have you really used to be cooking and stuff. And
Mitch, you remember when I was smaller, I used to terrorize you, boy?
you remember how much clout to get behind the thing when she tell me you don't cuss? And I said, she said, my son don't cuss. I said, all right, I will put you behind my baby and them clout. And you go back and tell her, yes, I know. You can do no wrong. I know you can do no wrong.
It was good, man. Growing up in Mova was a pleasure, you know.
Yeah, so
okay. All right.
So the Sebro.
Yeah, Lester, all right.
So Lester, there's a chance you'll be gone. You're gone, right? So Lester, I want to thank you for giving me that time and the information.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. Yeah, it's a pleasure. All right. All later. Have a nice one.
Yeah. So we have managed to locate Keith Sebro. He had some logistical and technical problems, as we say. Going back to the family now, you know, when you look at your mom, as I call her, Miss Sebs, and Mr. Sebro, what comes to you? How they did it, how they pulled it off? Because I say they were like a serious tandem, you know, regardless of what, I mean, hosting so many people and stuff, I give them full marks, full credit.
What can I say? When it comes to Mama, I'll give her full praise. She used to look after everybody on the block. You know that. With Daphney Sebro, man, she still lives in my heart. Because she was precious. Not to us alone. I think to everybody who live and grew up in that neighborhood. You know, my father, well, he was a gentle giant. You know, you never hear him raise his voice or nothing like that. You know? And he's the one who used to encourage us to play sports.
Yeah, because we name Lloyd Apo say he used to sew his pants, so he had no excuse.
He used to sew everybody uniform with Morvant, you see. Like the khaki pants and the blue shirt. He was a tailor, you know. Mm-hmm. But he was just a gentle person, man. I'm sure you never heard that guy raise his voice.
No, but hecky, when we get in a little haywire down by the kitchen door down there and stuff, you know, as youths, you will hear Mr. Sebro say, what's happening there? And that's it, you know. Everything done.
He never used to pull up nobody's socks and stuff. You know, he was just straight up Sidney Sebro.
Yeah, man. He didn't have to say much and to get things done, man. He didn't have to say much. So that's what I wanted. I wanted to get what you taught to them, and that was nice. And really,
Yeah. Well, you see, if one person tell you something, but when two people tell you this, when my father died, Gracie and George McIntyre tell me.
really, how come we are different position now? Well,
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say when my father died, you know, Gracie and George, Gracie Smith.
Yeah.
Miss Gracie, she used to beg my mother, tell him stop calling me Miss Gracie. No, I couldn't help that, you know manners with me. Gracie tell me something, but George tell me first, said George McIntyre. He say, I see all your brothers here. I say, yeah. He say, your father was a great man, boy. So I say, why you say that? He say, yeah, all your brothers here, boy. All. And then Gracie come and tell me the same thing in the evening, you know. It's so nice to see all you here, boy. Your father was a great person, boy. And they top it off now is Stone Goat. My father don't like me to call him Stone Goat, you know. Hey, Stone Goat come, Rolly, you gonna know what I feel. And I said, come in, Stone Goat. He said, no.
Hold on, Rolly. Boo, something coming in from here. Boo, something coming in.
All right, just now.
You know, he will tell me, no, call him Ruben. Don't call him no Stone Goat. And then Ruben will always tell me, you know, your father is something. And I say, why you say that? He say, the shack. You know the shack, Mitch?
What do you mean if I know the shack?
Everybody here know the shack. Anybody who pass through our house or wherever, they know the shack. So I say, nah, my father don't know what they're doing the back tail, man. He say, your father, and everybody passing and tell him, good afternoon, Mr. Sebro. He know everything they're doing in the back there. He said, but you are to go down on the football field, though. I don't want to see you in the backyard. Could you imagine where in my yard, they're telling me I had to go on the football field. Don't be in the back.
Well, Truckee and them build it, so you know they are right, you know. You know, Truckee and them are the blueprint.
Right,
You know, and that's another, actually, Rolly, you see, this is what I'm saying. Everybody just add a little something. You just mentioned the shack there, and that is accommodation again, because at the end of the day, Tinto went inside there, but Truckee is the man. Remember, we start giving party in the shack.
Yeah, no.
So Truckee, maybe you should toe that line now when it comes to the shack, because that's still about accommodation, accommodating people, extending everything, you know. And I mean, even when I came back, it was still the same thing. When I go back, and Ian saying he kept the same vibes going, the tradition going of bringing people in.
Well, the shack actually, you hearing me, right? You could hear me, mate?
Yeah.
The shack actually arrived when we decided to build over the house. And what happened is Mommy decided that we're going to build a temporary thing in the back, and I tell her, I'll build it. She said, boy, what are you talking about? I said, I'm going to build it. So we went down by Neil and Massey and get boxes. Every day we go down and get boxes. And we built a shack from Neil and Massey boxes. And we had the only psychedelic shack in Mova. The only psychedelic shack in Mova.
That was going then.
All the walls was ebony pictures and magazine pictures from the
Ebony
state.
and jets.
And the tricolor lights in the middle, the disco light in the middle. And we used to have card games in the night. We used to have, boy, that shack that was.
Yeah, that was a nice addition. Really.
Yeah, and we had records hanging out of the ceiling. That was the psychedelic shack. That was the only psychedelic shack.
And it was nice about it too.
And who
and all these guys, Lamu, all the older.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Bondrex used to come by me for pictures to put in his place, you know. The first time Bondrex come and he see the shack, he was amazed. He said, where you getting these pictures from? I said, my mother is sending down ebony magazines. Marvin Gaye, you know, Curtis Mayfield, you name it, we had it on the walls. The psychedelic shack, you know. So the shack was a mainstay at a time. You remember police come to raid the shack and all kind of things.
Yes.
All kind of big
I
things.
remember when they put their foot on my car.
Yeah.
I said, well, not knowing who it was.
And they asked to go to VG speaker. Were you speaking for everybody? You remember that?
So you know, Rolly, what year you left? Because I want to tap into
71,
Rolly, 71.
December 31st, 1971.
Okay. Yeah. So, but now in what Chucky is saying now, Chucky, you realize now that that shock and that time of the year, if Loreley left in 71, he had a piece of it. He had a little piece of the shock, right?
Mitch, this is what I'm telling you. I know, but I couldn't go in the shock. The big men used to tell Stone Cold, Palance, all of them telling me, go and play football. Don't be in here in the shock. I couldn't go in the shock.
Yeah, because you couldn't Nick, you couldn't play cards. So what you doing in the shock? You could only be getting away money in the shock, really. You know what I mean? So, but again, coming back.
I think he still can't play cards, you know.
Yeah. No, but again,
I could play almost and beat you.
But staying with the accommodation and the Sebro syndrome again, when you build from that, and you're building from the shock and the whole thing, remember we talk about the families in Climate and Cipriani Street, and then for some reason, before you left Rolly with the Black Power thing and stuff, remember we started nicing up the block. I used to take my speakers up by the corner, Miss Ivy used to give me AC, Parker give me AC and these things, right?
Yeah.
And so, but then all of a sudden, there was a gravitation now to behind by Sebro. From that open concept now, because remember the evolution was Tate, with Tate was the lime, Timal was the lime, and then all of a sudden Sebro is the lime.
But Mitch, this really come from football, eh? You have to remember, 1970, the whole Cipriani team, with the exception of Puss, used to come by us and watch Brazil play football, and then we go and play football down the road. And we say, here we used to say, watch the position you're playing. Like me, I was watching Carlos Alberto, somebody who playing a back. You was watching somebody playing a midfield. And we used to say, this is how we go in and play. We used to watch the game by us and then go and play what we saw. That's what makes
another thing. Staying with the Sebro situation again, now that you're talking about watching the game by you, remember when we were talking about the families, we talk about going and watch TV by them because PG was big for that.
Yes.
This place. I was so happy. When Sebro get TV, it was like we get TV. Because now I didn't have to go to the tape.
You had your own seat.
No, telet, no nothing. It right there back home.
We used to go by Tate too.
Yeah, well, Tate was the starting of the whole thing.
Yeah, Tate was the
Timal.
Yeah.
We from Tate and Timal, you know. So Bo, do you get a taste of? You get a taste of the. You ain't gonna. Well, the shock is what tend to end up living in Obu. You know that, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah, you know that, right?
Yeah.
He ended up bidding over the shop to the white is now.
right.
Tinto?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
But you gotta remember, plenty people live in that shack, you know. Yeah.
You know, since I left, I never really went in there.
Yeah.
So that means
It's not a shack anymore, it's a concrete structure.
I know it's a concrete structure, but I know what the inside.
Yeah.
I don't know the dimensions of the inside I was talking about. I see it's a concrete from outside, but
But the shack was a big open area, you know.
Yeah. And
We
put a curtain on one side.
Was a big open area.
no, boy, at one time, when Tinto started moving, they make a little something for Tinto inside. I was around when Tinto moved.
Tinto didn't move, Tinto was there already, but they just separate something for him.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
When you say shack, tell them it's concrete and concrete floor. It's like a house, you know.
Yeah, but he think we say when we say shack, we talking about because of the structure. You can have a concrete structure and there's a shack. You know?
But the ground was concrete, but the whole what I talking about was born. When you take up all these pictures was born.
Yeah, but it wouldn't change. No matter what you do to that, we could still call it shack.
The shack, yeah.
Yeah, because it's still.
I live there. I live in the back there.
It is.
Live in the back there.
It is because every time I go back there, they say, "Boy, look at the shack, boy." You know, although it's a concrete structure, I still say the same thing. Boy, look at the shack. You know, boy, what? It brings back memories. You know?
And Mr. Sebro, don't matter what people say, that was a tandem, because get everything, because we're not in people business. For so many people to have refuge there, I mean, we see what the world doing with the Ukraine and everything else. I mean, that was really, really good. That's a real good heart.
That was something else. That was phenomenal because the owners of the house, the core of the house, used to sleep sideways on one bed. And other people sleeping on the ground.
I see the
double
ground,
decker,
the ground, that middle bedroom at the ground.
Telling you, yes,
Yes.
just to accommodate people. And food always there. She always have food. I mean, you remember Daphney used to shop like his BJ's, you know. She used to buy a case of milk, big thing of cheese, the full leaf cheese, the big thing of butter, the whole. That's how and she used to send for this one, send for that one, rice in a big. That's how she was. So and she had a little change. Besides Sidney having a decent job, she had 2 trucks on contract, one with the county council and one with the stores and them in.
I only know that recently that I forgot about. I know Mr. James, but I didn't know it was you guys own, or I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was Daphney trucks, and one used to park in the yard and one used to park in Sour. There's 2 trucks she had. So when you think about it, you know, she always giving, always has to give, always have. Everybody have the up and the down, you know. All of us have a little fault here and there, but when it comes to Daphney Sebro, it was nothing to give, nothing, you know. And don't care what you do her, you can get from her tomorrow.
All right. So, well, really, like you want to interject. So, what do you have to add to that? I guess
She teach me something, Emmett. She teach me something, one I will never forget it, boy. Never envy anything anybody have. You don't know what they do to get it. She tell Val that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I know she tell him many times that don't envy nothing anybody have because you don't know what they do to get it. You know, you remember after Batis?
Yeah.
When my father died, so I was the oldest. So they tell me I had to write up the obituary. So I write, and same time he come over, he say, who gonna see the? I said, well, I am writing it up now. So he said, read it for me, I read it for me. He said, you mad? That is my father, that is not enough. I said, you mean that your father? He said, forget my mother and father that young, boy, that was my father, boy. So I said, okay, I thought what to do. He said, sit down, and we write it together. But then still, when I went up, I said, I just stayed about that. Nah, I want to talk I didn't want to talk.
I ain't sure you wanted to go there, you know, because right now that queue, your queue is like Leicester queue right now. Yeah, you never show on that, you know. So I don't know why you went there, you know.
No, I was sure about that, boy. You kidding, boy?
You couldn't face the mic, you know. You
jump. No, I talk enough. I mean, I could have talked more because even after up to now, I say I should have speak more. But I always remember what George tell me, what Gracie tell. I forget what I'm saying, you know. Yeah, that was like my big brother, you know. But they tell me, you know, I did enough, you know, and had a husband too.
So you know, Patrick never come back on, you know.
No, but I spoke to him.
What happened?
He said he having a little problem with this thing, and he good.
Mitch,
yeah.
One more person that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Your partner, Jakey, I was crying, you know. Yeah, Jakey, what are you crying for? Say me not crying. Come on, Jake, no mom died, man. He say, hey, you mother. I used to take the bus and come wrong. I cannot wait until the bus come wrong all the way around my house school or Matapal Street. I used to drop out in the back and say it, boy.
Bennett or whatever. But it had some people. That's why I asked you guys about the family in the neighborhood.
Yes,
because we had families. I don't know if other part of Mova was like that. With the TV, you know it from the time technology came in, and who don't have TV could go by somebody. We moved bunks from Blandon to Morrow, from PG to Bennett to Waterhead and them to Garcia to Daphney to Tio and Villafana to Butkins. Listen, I call them Tillets. Well, of course, Sebro get. And then we get, but you know, even we get, I still might be watching certain shows by Sebro.
By Sebro, yeah. Because the lime.
But what you guys think happened with these people that they accommodate us as youths with the TV? You know what I mean?
You know what was nice, man? Cipriani and Kaime Street is, listener, I take a taxi from the airport all the time and I tell the man looking. I say, why you looking? He say, I ain't seen no rota and no houses here. I said, nah, no rota and here. There's a real nice neighbor. He say, yeah. So he drive in. When he drop me, he say, wait no rota. I said, only house you might see with rota and if somebody now come to live in the neighborhood. Because how it is, if the mother and father die or the grandmother and father die, somebody take it over.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I said, so it's not. He said, yeah. When he come up on Kaima Street, he said, my God, what's this? I seen palm trees. I said, yeah, it's a nice. He said, it has no place to rent around here. I said, nah, it's not like that, man.
Yeah, and this is what people in this modern time want to know, what kind of madness we talking about, going and watch TV by people place and through the window. Boo, did you know that used to happen early?
Yes, yeah. I went by theater and them and watch TV through the window and thing.
Boo, you keep talking Ted. You was wrong with Ted regime.
I 63 midget.
Oh yeah, it's okay. All right. You see?
I might be younger, but I'm 63.
Yeah. You know, you just set me straight there. You know, yeah. You set me straight there. Because you say that's the whole thing with the system, you know, is boo. I ain't saying he's a kid, but the point is, we're talking Tate, and I tell myself, you know, like, what boo know about Tate?
Come to Tate that trophy too through the yard and all to come home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Solo side, not solo side. What's the side? Solo side?
Solo.
So Bo,
Pepsi side, boy.
So Bo,
Pepsi.
so you watch TV by Tate, you said?
Yeah.
So what you thought when you guys got TV?
What is the problem? You get TV. I think we could have get TV long time, you know, but you know, it had other priorities by us besides TV, I think.
What? That's something what Chalky said that some years back, you know.
Yeah, it's a priority by us besides TV.
Exactly what you said, you know.
Yeah.
We had other priorities.
And not only TV alone, telephone too. We could have had telephone for a long time, but it somehow Daphney was.
I think the job my father was doing, he could have. But mommy was the person that had the priorities of what we wanted. That TV and phone and these things. You know?
Veg.
Yeah.
We had to talk about Cipriani, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, you kind of okay. So here we go now. We in the ball.
Wait. Let me say one more thing.
Yeah.
Was the greatest man in the world.
Amen.
I'm not saying anybody else's father is great to it, but my father was the greatest. I watched my father come from a orderly.
I giving you that too. I giving you that too. I don't know about in the world, but one of the greatest I know.
I could give examples, you know. One example I could give. My father used to work in the mental hospital. Started as an orderly, main nurse, and they called him back to work. He said, no, I can't go back. And I beg him to go back. He told me, no. He worked 36 years. I went and tell my aunt who used to work with him, he was my aunt board. She said, nah, your father wouldn't go back because when your father come into work, he had, I think it's 9 nurses. They trace. He never late, you know. He not like me, He not like me and Chalky. He never late. He trace setup. So I asked her, what do you mean he trace setup? She said, that is our trace to go and do what we have to do. We don't have to do that, you know. He didn't come in early and set up that already. So he not going back to work because they went understand him and they want to give him lips. I said, what do you mean lips? He said mouth. And he never ever was like that. I said, thank you. All right, I went and tell him, all right, I understand.
It's a pity. Look, I see somebody want me to admit them. I hope it is. Let me see who is this. If it's Patrick, that's what I told Lester.
Lester.
That's what I told Hecky.
Hey Lester, he just called me.
Oh.
So all of you getting me out?
Nah, we big you up already.
I just invoke you there. I see your face. Yeah, saying I asked Stroky if you could play, but like you come on with earplugs.
I know come back on. I just finished working on it. No come back on the live.
So you always see up in your nose. You and Boo, we see up in your nose, right?
Well, I drive in.
What do you mean?
You driving?
Yeah, but then I know. I had to know I'm going on work and the clock still until in the morning, 6 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
And next, you all still on the live or all off the live?
Just mute your phone. Just mute your phone, like you did.
Muted? Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, muted because you was on all the time, but you was muted. Yeah. Yeah, he was on all the time, but he was muted.
That's something to say. Early, you just tie you right hand tie, you just go in the left hand.
Yeah, really.
Hey, Mitch.
Hey.
Mitch, look at next phone, that boy.
He might mute Cayen.
Alvin Muggle. I mean, I visit. That Ian. Then I live stream.
That looking like Lloyd.
Nah, yeah, Lloyd, Apple.
Apple.
Good rate.
Hey, Apple, what's going on?
That point through.
Yeah, hold on.
That is Lloyd Goodrich Sebro. Lloyd Goodrich Sebro.
Yeah, that's a live thing.
Lloyd Goodrich Sebro.
I do like this.
Just talk a little. You like spending your mom.
Lloyd, you in, eh? Nah, I ain't him.
All of a sudden, let's a game the air.
you too.
Eh?
You know.
Yeah, me know. So, Lloyd, yeah, what I want from you. Lester, raise the phone on the man now.
Yeah.
Raise the phone, man.
The phone you want?
Phone two under him.
The phone two under him. Raise the phone, Lester.
Right.
He's standing up.
Yeah. Lloyd, what I want from you is we talk about this Sebro situation here and the amount of people that pass through and the love and the catering and everything. So if you want anything to add, you know, I remember when you came there with your sisters and them. What was your stay like at the Sebros and stuff?
Well, was one of the best lives that I had. I'm still enjoying it. Especially, I have a godson on all from there. Not goddaughter, godson.
We want to add a little something to Miss Siebes and Pa Siebes being so accommodating to 200,000 people passing through.
You gotta ask him about Tanti Daphney. You don't question that, but Tanti Daphney.
Let me hear Apple.
I was on too. I had to go to work.
What do you think about the hospitality and stuff?
Think about what?
The hospitality
Put it together.
by Sebro and everything else.
Everybody come to.
No, by Sebro, I was a son. Until Daphney was the boss. Anything, if Daphney have a shilling, I get in 12 cents. Daphney was my girl. She was loved by everybody.
Nice.
Sidney used to make your pants, so you make sure you're plain. You have no excuses not to play.
Yeah,
all right. So, but Lloyd, you look good, man.
Thank you.
You're looking like you're looking like you and Lester is twins.
Mitch.
Yeah.
Mitch.
Yeah.
Thank you, big brother.
Let me make sure this man he had to go in now. So let me go back to Lloyd. Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the event that you had to go and stuff, I want to thank you for popping in and giving us your little 2 cents worth of the Sebro residents and what it meant to you and the football. So I want to thank you for adding to this.
That is still my home, you know. 21 climate street.
Alvin Muggle.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
That's my big brother up to now.
Yeah.
Mitch.
Yeah, just here. He was having some technical problems with the linking in. Patrick, well, now is your turn. So we swinging back now. Let's swing back to the Sebros. But
I'm grateful.
Okay.
If it wasn't for that part of my life, I don't know what would have happened to me. You know, even my aunt, I'm so grateful for that lady. That woman, my aunt, I'm so grateful for her. She's the one who sent me to America as a matter of fact because it had a black power, something was going on, and she didn't want me to that because I was down in that because I'm a black power man. I'm always black conscious. And she gave me connection to that. And I'm grateful. You know, you see, Kate and Earl especially. That for example, I could always, I don't care what or how I I must have pure love for them guys. You know why, brother? When things was bad with me, when I was young, them boys never turned their back on me. You know? Yeah, and the big props for them for me. Big props. Big props.
All right, Pat. So, anything else we didn't cover that you want to cover before we close? Yeah. I think, yeah.
I'm so grateful for what you're doing, man. For what you're doing for us, for the family. Because you're family. You what you're doing, man, you know, you're no friend, you're family. You know? And they're my cousins, they're my brothers. You know? We come to the big world, and you know, it's a big world. You know? It'll be different. But we brothers. You know? And I'm grateful, man. I'm grateful, I'm grateful that you can even reach out to me to have a discussion, a little topic, and I'm grateful.
Thanks, Pato, to give me the time. You know, I know, we had to get this in, part of the group, your instrumental part in my life, in my upbringing, never defy you. Some who didn't understand was too bad for them, but I know what I found in you, and I want to thank you for being there as a certain part of my life too.
The feeling is mutual, brother.
All right, so you take care, and thanks. All right, okay. Thanks, Pato. Well, Hecky, what I would say is, Patrick was saying in his own that he would never be able to repay you and Errol because all you was so good to him. He would never forget, especially you and Errol. I don't know what the inside is, right? Because I hang
we grew up like brothers. This family, but we grew up like brothers because we grew up together. You understand me? We grew up together. So we grew up like brothers. We grew up like cousins, But that whole Cipriani and Kindness Street was. Everybody was one big family. We could do anything, pitch marbles, go, make a little boat and go in the river and run with a little boat and stuff like that. We were just one family on the block.
Yeah.
That was the most important thing to me.
I want to run thing by you because Rolly couldn't relate it well. I threw this question by Patrick, but I didn't realize Patrick came a little later. You remember when we used to be, and that's why I missed you in the initial thing. You remember when we used to go by everybody to watch TV, Hecky, before you guys get TV? You remember?
Yeah. We can look at TV through the windows.
Yes. I mean, it started with either Timal or Tate, then it went Hive, then it went Botkins, it went Daphney, it went, everybody on the block, man.
And next door,
Blandon.
Long John next door to us. He used to play for Dodgers. Remember Long John?
Yes.
Wilson Smith. We call him Long John.
Yeah. Okay, Keith, I want to thank you for giving me the time and the information today. I really didn't feel comfortable doing this without you. Seeing that you and I, we really started this thing, this union, for me to be like part of the Sebro family. So I want to thank you for persevering and making the time to talk with me today.
No problem, man. Anytime, man. When it comes to Morvant United, when it comes to Cipriani Street, when it comes to, I will be always there. And to be honest with you, man, I am proud to be part of it.
Okay.
Because we went further than some people that never know that we will go. But we was united. That is the most important thing. We was united.
Yeah. I hear you, bro. But hats off to you, Hecky. We started it. You know, we started that union. Sebro's wasn't an easy place to lime. It wasn't the most comfortable place for some parents, but it worked for me.
Yeah.
It worked for me.
To me too, because I went further than I thought when it comes to soccer. I reached further than I thought I could have reached. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And I was proud to be part of anything in Morvant. Even self cricket and all, bring more cricket.
Yeah. Everything good with you though?
Yeah, everything is good, man. Everything good. I'm going to Florida next 2 weeks and then from there going to there.
Yeah, yeah. So all right, so again, Hecky, you stay up and stay real, man. And safe.
You too, bro. You too. Keep on keeping what you're doing, okay?
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Chucky, I didn't get your version of the Sebro accommodation and stuff thing. I'm not sure. I think I got that. Right? I know people was afraid of us through party. Right? But in the family realm of things, I understand you was in Toko, you enjoy that and stuff, but looking at 21 and looking back at 21, you know, and I know you went down to do some work. How you look back at the res and what it mean to you?
It's everything, you know, in your growing up, because it teaches so much of humility. Daphney teaches so much about humility and giving, you know. And as I said in her eulogy, she was the queen of the revolving door house. And she used to give so much. Maybe that's why she always had.
Boo, you had to turn off your mic.
Yeah. That's why she always had to give. She always had to give. Always. And you know, from coming by where you always see that food thing, that giving thing, that always have, and people always coming through. I could never explain how many people live by us. People can't believe it. Nobody could believe it if I try to explain. And if I call names now,
I'm being modest, you know.
I
say 400, but I think I'm being modest.
Yes, because if I start to call names, we spend the rest of the night. That's how much people live. And that's just live by us. How many people wed by us, get married in that house? So much weddings happen in that house. I'm telling you, up to last week, Linda told me I get married there. I said, Linda, you get married in our house? She said, yeah. I wasn't home for that. When you look at it and you look at where we come through, how we come through, even when I go back home on vacation, people living by me and I don't know them. I said, but who is this person? They said, I Clark. I said, but he have a house around the corner. But he choose to live here. Dexter, he have a house, his father have a house down in Malapal Street area, but he choose to live by us. Everybody who come through, they come to spend a weekend on this, you see them for the next 10 years. How it happen? How it happened? And nobody run nobody.
Because, Val, I want to thank you for giving me this time and the information and the opportunity to talk about your family as my friend, my best friend. It was a long time overdue, and I really appreciate the fact that you take the time to even help coordinate this effort.
Thank you very much for having me. And I hope that we stay together. We had to have a kind of reunion thing, and we could organize that. We all, everybody end up entering that together, and we have a nice Cipriani thing, a nice Cipriani get together with the Cipriani members that's still alive. You understand? I mean, all of the ones that are gone. You know, we had to do that. This is good, but this was good.
Yeah, Boo.
Over, you know.
I want to thank you for giving me the time, the information, for being part of a family that I been a very instrumental part of my upbringing. Although I was sleeping elsewhere, I was spending time inside, you know what I mean? And, you know, I always wanted to know what you thought and what Lester thought as the younger ones. And I want to thank you for getting that time.
You're welcome, Alvin. You're welcome, man. Yeah. It was good being on your side today.
All right. And Rolly hand up again. I thought he freeze, you know, but I guess he hand was up.
I know him.
So hold on, Rolly. We're going to talk about it, but let me get the official closing. Errol, I want to thank you for giving me the time, all the information as the eldest, for showing us the way to the national to persevere when people doubt you. You show that with hard work, everything is possible. So again, as a Cipriani member, as one of the leaders in Cipriani, the inspiration, I consider you the lightning rod and the inspiration of Cipriani. I want to thank you for giving me this time.
Mitch, guess what? I don't remember. I never played hockey until he come to America.
I mean, you never played hockey. Hockey play for Cipriani?
No, I never played hockey until he come to America, boy.
Really? Really?
I swear,
Really?
my mother and father. I don't
Really?
remember that.
Really?
Yeah,
After the closing.
Is that the way you want to close?
yeah. I play with Stone Boat and Peter,
Oh, really? Really?
not my brother, boy.
Really?
Yeah.
We close and we can talk that talk after.
You'll talk that after. I just thank you for everything else.
All right. Thank you too for doing this.
So yeah, Jay, how was the whole revolving door, as Chucky called it? And, you know, where are you and how is that working for you right now?
Well, I moved to Tobago about 25 years ago. And I've been building boats since over here. I've been building boats and things, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. I mean, I comfortable with it now then. I mean, I comfortable with it now. But I used to do welding in Morvant first by Auntie Daphney. I used to making gates and so on. But I like the boat building thing then. And from there is I continue doing that, I mean. I continue the boat world, I mean. But it's all thanks to them, I mean.
Okay, so while you talking, we hearing the little splashes behind. So the background, just the background there. So what's that? What's that?
This is Buku. This is Buku Point in Tobago.
All right, and I guess you have a little sunset coming in.
Yeah, at least like it going down.
All right.
I work over on that side, I work, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That is the beach, but it's sun going down, man.
Okay, so back to the yeah. So Jay, want to thank you. I don't know what you say. You like the Brotherhood. You know, anything.
I give all my family, everybody. Tell them I love them. You know what I mean? Just tell them I love them. I don't know I love them. Then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love you. I mean, we don't meet each other enough then, but I know in my heart, you know, the love there. You know what I mean? I know that it's all because of Auntie Daphney and Uncle Sidney. Then, you know what I mean? I tell you that the man is a boss and the woman was a boss. You know what I mean? I couldn't ask some more. The home was like everybody home then. Everybody was like, oh, say everybody in the neighborhood. And people were all around, not just in the neighborhood. You know what I mean? You come there, right now in the house, is a guy that came and learned fiberglass with me when I was working at Lilam. And that is the man at the house right now then, to tell you the children. I left and he there then.
That's the kind of signature the whole family have.
And he's from St. Vincent then, you know what I mean? And he home there, it's like his home now then, you know what I mean? That's how it is then. That's how it is. And you know, thank God for that lady there, that man, I couldn't ask him more, you know what I mean?
All right.
Man was the coolest thing I ever know then, you know what I mean? The coolest thing then, you know what I mean? The lady was, she was the boss, you know what I mean?
Oh, when we're gonna close off, I want to ask you a question after we close off. So let me thank you for giving me the time and the information and to make yourself available again. Although you couldn't make it in the group chat, it's nice to get your information. All right. So without further ado, I want to drop a bomb in the house in that Gerald mentioned the guy in the Sebro house right now, and we found him. And so I will ask you to formally introduce yourself and let the public know who you are.
Yeah, well, my name is Jaime Batiste. Born in St. Vincent, came to Trinidad some 40 plus years ago. And learning trade with Gerald down by Lidom. Came up here, he buy a boat mold, and he back there making boats.
So hold on. So when you say you came up here, where exactly are you talking about?
Well, I came to Trinidad from St. Vincent. That is it. Came to Trinidad, staying with my aunt, Naruka. Went down by Lilum to learn trade. I bounced up Gerald. I meet up with Gerald. Gerald is the man who started to teach me the trade. So he ended up by a mole. And I ended up working with him, learning trade still with him. So right by the Sebro, right in the backyard there by the Sebros. And that's how I end up here really, because the true Gerald I end up here in the home here. And
okay, so let me ask you, if you're saying it's true Gerald end up in the home, did Gerald extend the invitation for you to stay there, or was Miss Siebes wrong, or how did that work?
No, well, I was working with him, and as I tell you, one evening, Miss Auntie Daphney look at me and he say, "You're looking tired." So I say, "Yeah, tired." Yeah. He said, "How far does that travel to go?" I say, "Aruka by my aunt." He said, "Well, he ain't bound to go up there, you know, because the back house say the boys are them there, so you could stay right there with them, you know what I mean?" So that's how I end up staying with the boys are them in the back, staying in the back house, say, the house that you call the shack. That's how I end up staying there. That's how I end up here. And she was like a mother to me, the husband.
Okay, before we go to Miss Siebes, when you decide to stay that night, right? So when you said that she offered you that thing, we was assumed that it's a one night. Was it a one night? When did you bring your clothes? When it was comfortable that you tell yourself you're actually in and you're not going back or whatever?
Yeah, well, it was like that one. I went home that night and I come down the other day. I came and organized. I talked to she and I tell she what and organize and I bring down the clothes the other day. The next day, you know what I mean? And I end up staying there with the boys in the back there and thing.
All right. Now, in listening to all the brothers, cousins who say they're brothers, everybody is a brotherhood. I want you now to tell me were you there when Mr. Siebes, I call him, Sebro was there also? Was it Mr. Sebro and Mr. Sebro?
Yeah, both of them, yeah.
So what I want you to do now, what I want from you now, I want you to tell me what that relationship was them like, what you think, what was the whole experience being around Mr. and Mrs. Siebes, because this is kind of dedicated to them in a way, what you thought of them and how did that work for you?
Well, very nice. They were like my second parent. You understand? They were like my second parent. They treat me just like a son. They treat me like no stranger and nothing like that. You understand? Treat me like a son, and I treat them like it's my parents. You understand? That's how they love was. They were so loving. Auntie Daphney was so nice, man. You understand? She see me there, she go say, "Jaime, what happened? You want to go? So you want to go to the movie? You want to go there?" And she will say, "Hey, who that 20? Go and watch a movie." But I don't go movie and think so. I say I don't go movie and thing, you know. But it was nice. It was very nice. She was a nice lady. Possible, same thing. But like a father to me. And I mean, and all the brothers and thing, everybody was so nice, man. I can't complain about nothing. Everything was so nice. Deborah, everybody was right there for me, man.
And before we close, one of the things that I heard about you that I want to mention to you that I find was very good in with you and in that light is the fact that even when Miss Siebes was ailing, you were the guy who was assisting her. And I find that such a nice turn. For me being part of the Brotherhood, that's a thank you, you know. And how was that for you? And you felt that was within you, it was automatic for you?
Yes. See that? She treated me so good that when she read that, said, I just have to do something help. So I was right there helping her along the way when she gets sick and thing with ill. It wasn't a problem for me to look after her at all. It wasn't a problem. So I stick with her, and then it was like my duty then. That's how I see it then, because she was so good to me. So I had no problem in doing that.
Okay, and in terms of your family there, besides you moving in, I guess your family came with you. I just spoke to your son, and I just tell him congratulations in order as far as he passing the bar exam or whatever. So how did that work for you on a family basis now?
Well, I get married right here. You understand? I get married in the wedding keep up right in the yard here. And all them children, you can say all them born here. You understand? I started family right here. All them children born here grow up right here. You understand?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, all them children born and grow up right here, man. I know children when I come here. I was a pretty young fella, about 28 years old.
So they know the Sebro residents then. That's 21 Climate is their thing.
Yeah. The children grow up right here, man. The first boy when he come out of the hospital and he born, he first speak in the front room there. Yeah.
Oh.
So them boy grow up right here. But the first one, no grandpa, no granny. You know them, but the other two grandpa they passed away before the other two.
Okay, so how many kids you have?
I have 3 boys.
Okay, all right. So well, I wanna thank you for giving me this little official time. We felt that it was kind of on us that we had to include you in this, and you had to pull the curtain on this. You pulled the curtain on Miss Sebro and Miss Eves, and so I want to thank you for everything, for being you, for helping out the family and everything else. I sure you hear my name being called in, you know, like I am an extension of the family too.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, again, yeah. So again, thank you for the little time and for closing the curtain, wrapping this thing up nicely.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right?
you, man.
Okay, take care. All right.
Bye.